What if you had the resources you needed for your mental health right at your fingertips? Imagine a world where our mental well-being is prioritized just like our physical health, and where we have access to the tools and support we need. That's exactly what the Make Mental Health Matter show is all about. Join Kelli Melissa Reinhardt, a true warrior for mental health, founder of Make Mental Health Matter nonprofit, author, and wellness coach. This show is your gateway to breaking down the stigma surrounding mental health. Tune in for enlightening conversations, expert insights, and empowering stories that will not only increase awareness, but also provide education about mental health. It's time to have those hard conversations, prioritize your well-being, and make your mental health matter. Your mental wellness journey starts here.
Welcome to another episode of the Make Mental Health Matter show. I am your host, Kelli Melissa Reinhardt, and I'm excited this week. I have another guest, which is so fun. There's been a lot of times that I've done some solo shows in the past, but it is always really, really great when I have a guest come on, because I think those are the most transformational episodes that we do, just because the whole goal of the show is to bring resources to you as the listener and viewer, and just make sure that you know what's out there that might be able to help you. I also like to tell people, if it works, great. If it doesn't, leave it. And that's totally okay. What we experience is very different as humans, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So the exciting part about doing this show, especially with my guest, and I'll share a little bit about her in just a moment, is that we both have a connection to mental health. You all, if you've been watching or listening for a really long time, already know my story. So I'm going to, without further ado, because I could ramble forever, blah, blah. If I can talk today, that'd be great. So tell you a little bit about this show, because again, it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we really want to discuss some of the realities of mental health and the impacts on individuals and families, and why that connection and the conversation and all of the community things that I have talked about in the past really matter more now than ever. So my guest for today, Tamara L. Hunter, she is going to share some personal insights from her own life experience, including supporting loved ones through mental health challenges. She also wants to discuss about the importance of removing shame, creating understanding, and helping people feel seen, heard, and supported. Now you know why I brought her on, right? And so she is a humanitarian, a TV host, a speaker, and the co-founder of CB4L.org. It's Chemo Buddies for Life, a global support community centered on healing through connection. She is the creator and executive producer of the Let's Talk Fabulous show right here on E360 TV, and the founder of Impactor Music Productions, which we'll talk a little bit about that too. Known as the first global Next Impactor, Tamara is passionate about creating positive change through compassion, conversation, and community. A cancer survivor and advocate, she uses television, music, speaking, and outreach to help people feel seen, heard, and supported, and inspired. Her mission focuses on healing through connection and making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. So, without further ado, Tamara, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you for allowing me to join you on such an important month, talking about such an important topic.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I know. So I got to come on your show not too long ago. And we've been doing, I feel like a lot of things, just really with E360 TV. But I'm the most excited just because I would love, and I know I have little bits and pieces of your story, but could you share just a little bit more with the audience, as related to your story and what kind of led you to this space?
Well, thank you for asking. I always knew I'd be in this space. I wasn't quite sure exactly what that would look like. You know, from my youth, I thought it would be maybe more in possibly TV or stage and dance and such, because that's where I was young. And so I always had an interest. My mom had an interest. You know how that works. And what happened was I was diagnosed. I was diagnosed with cancer. You mentioned that I'm a survivor. And when my very first day of chemotherapy, all the lights went off and the bells went off and everything, because I was having a major allergic reaction. I was asleep. Someone woke me up. My face was on fire. My throat was closing up. I couldn't even open my eyes. And the person that saw that happening ended up being the daughter of who ended up becoming my original buddy. And we then journeyed through our health experience together, and we got known as the party bus, or here they come, double trouble, you know. And our doctors and nurses were like, we need a dose of that out there, because too many people are feeling isolated and alone, and we need that connection. We need people, and we, because of HIPAA laws and such, they have to be careful in that area. So they had been looking for, and when we showed up, they're like, they really kind of kicked us out of the nest, if you will, and said, okay, go do this for people. And that's what brought me to the space, because I kind of went back to my roots, because I went back to stage, I started speaking and such, and it was like, okay, how are we going to make a big difference? Because at the time, it was pre-COVID, and there wasn't a lot in the area that I needed, because when I went through my journey, I was a shut-in because of some of the health, when you come to it with your health issues, right? Well, we realized that there wasn't a lot on online or resources, because it was brick and mortar pre-COVID. And so I needed it, and if I needed it, others did too, I figured. And so that's where we started. And it kind of then snowballed. How do you get your message out there? Like what you're doing with your show. How do you get your message out there? How do you make a difference? How do you touch people? And years later now, voila, that's how I'm here. And I'll tell you, it's the best thing that we can be doing. To those people that are humanitarians and have a cause like what you're doing, Kelly, thank you for doing it. It's so needed. We need to be on the rooftops. We need to be doing it on TV. We need to be doing it every which way, and normalizing it, and saying, okay, this is going on. Let's do something about it. And we can.
Yeah, I mean, it's so, um, there's so many of us out there, I feel like, and we're all really trying to go for the same thing. And
I can't hear you now.
well, yeah, that would help if I unmute myself. Yep. I'm like, come on, technology. Um, that's what is great about having other show hosts, because, they can help us out. Other guests would be like, am I supposed to hear them or not? Um, yeah. I mean, there's so many of us out there that are really trying to go after the same, like, not the exact same goal, but really just trying to help support people overall, right? And I feel like maybe in the space it was very competitive back a while ago, just because I mean, like you said, it was brick and mortar. You had to go into spaces, right? There wasn't a lot of online. And with COVID, one of the blessings that came out of it is that we did shift more into this digital space and into the online space so that we can reach people across the globe, which I think is just so amazing. And I love, I mean, what you guys do on your show, the Fab Five. Um, it's amazing, and I'm so excited. I know nobody knows yet, but during our sponsored spots, I have some of the music that you have done, and I remember the first time I went on your show, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so awesome!" So I
Thank you.
love what you're doing as far as the show and the concept and bringing it globally and being able to share that message because really, truly, a lot of us have gone through really, really hard times. And
Yeah.
it's one of those things to let people know that you're not alone, right? Like we
hmm
as a human go through so many things. So
Thank you for, first of all, thank you for recognizing the show, and thank you. Yes, and the thing about our show, and you know this because we kind of made a big deal of it when we were in Florida at Hostopia for our network, and our show is 100% volunteers, and we are cause driven. It is a show that we put on because we really do want to make a difference. That is the bottom line, and it's an outreach from our original group within what we call the buddies, and it's a part of that mission. So we say that all roads lead back to the buddies, and the show is really more of now the ability to reach, and you hit it the nail on the head. We need more of us. We need more of us because in truth we're not competing, and that's the beauty of today. Today we have an awareness. I think that we understand how ripples work. We understand how community and like-mindedness works. We understand that when more of us are traveling together in a way that even if we're saying the same thing, you know, same exact thing, someone's going to hear only one of them because it's like their frequency, whatever it may be, there's a connection somehow. So we need as many voices that are going to get out there to, again, shout from the top, top of the roof, saying, okay, we're in this together. It's time for the humanity to show up, and we have these tools to do it, and we can have fun because you came on for the New Year's Eve event, 3 hours. We had fun. We had a fun time. Our network was so generous. They let us go live. They let us play. They trusted us, and we brought in the new year together. Oh, when you think about that and the community that you're serving, because I want people to also out there hear this, is that we need to bring. I was amazed a long time ago when I realized that mental health was not under general health. Wait a minute. It is. It should be. We need that to happen, and it's becoming a little bit more normalized in some circles. Yet, that's been over a period of time, and as a family member, I've been in this for decades, and kind of have a little bit of a clue of what's going on out there. And so the more of us that are out there and realizing that if we can work on our mental health, because it is our general health, then we can fix the things, and our cells inside won't want to go cattywampus, and then we can do away with the 6-letter word called cancer. Let's just be real. There are building blocks in so many ways, towards positive or towards the not so positive. And to be able to take that stigma away and say, okay, guys, it's just like this. The pink ribbon. Okay, the pink ribbon was my ribbon, if that says anything. Most people understand that. For those that don't, I'm going to say it. Breast cancer. Now, the pink ribbon, because there for a while in genteel, conversation and society, there for a while, there were people that wouldn't even say breast because it had a connotation. We don't say that. So they went with the pink ribbon and they normalized it. and so that then they could also get funding. And I am, whatever your feelings are, because in our community, it doesn't matter what treatment you go with, just get some. You know, what you're going to believe in, because that's what will work for you, most likely, right? The idea here is that when we can take that stigma away, when we can say, okay, breast cancer, okay, breast cancer, all right, you know, and I'm a living, the money that they raised, I had one of the ones that they weren't surviving from for many years, HER2 positive. And then when they were able to come up with some immunotherapy because of normalizing it through the pink ribbon and then doing all this research, Tamara's alive. You know, I went from one of the ones that had the least chance of survival to one of the ones that had the most chance of survival because of the work that was done and the taking away the stigma. We need to do that. We're falling behind, I believe, yet we don't have to be. We can join together because mental health, there are so many resources. First of all, people need to understand that, and that they don't need to be alone, and understand that there are those that are there to support. Having the experience that I have had with family members, I understand that that's easier said than done. I do. I get that. I'm not living in Shangri-La. However, I will say this. I don't give up. And, you know, if there's a will, there's a way. And so bringing the awareness, talking about it, and normalizing it and saying, okay, I have a duck, I have a pink ribbon, I have mental health issues, whatever it may be, and I'm okay with it, and I'm going to get some help. Kelli, thank you for what you're doing. And that smile too.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I love that you brought up the pink ribbon and how that was normalized, right? Because everything I think now has a ribbon or a color that goes with it. I wore my green sweatshirt because green is mental health awareness. But there is, like, that's a way that we can start to break down the stigma, recognizing colors and recognizing ribbons when people are wearing them, right? Because the suicide prevention one is a teal and purple. And so we kind of, with our logo, at least for Make Mental Health Matter, we meshed them all together as that, the greens, the teals, and the purples. And I know not a lot of people see that, but those that know, they know, right? And so I think it's cool that you brought in how we can normalize, break down the stigma, have the conversations, because the people that need to see that will see it, right? And they're the ones that you're going to ultimately save their life, because then they don't feel so alone. So I love that you brought in the ribbon aspect too. We're going to go to our quick first sponsored break, but once we get back from that, which I'm really excited because it is one of the first music videos. So we'll be right back after this quick sponsored break.
What if you could transform your mental health journey with just one question? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to prioritize your mental well-being like never before? Well, now's your chance. Introducing Make Mental Health Matter, the show that's changing the conversation about mental wellness. Join us every Monday on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time as we delve into insightful discussions, expert advice, and inspiring stories. Hosted by Kelli Melissa Reinhardt, a warrior for mental health. This show is your guide to breaking down the stigma surrounding mental health and discovering valuable resources to enhance your well-being. So, are you ready to take charge of your mental health journey? Tune in and let's make mental health matter together.
As we come together today,
we, the Fab family, stand united in love and unity.
We know that life brings challenges and healing comes through connection.
In bringing awareness to mental health and well-being, we honor the strength it takes to keep moving forward.
Our show is dedicated to exploring our fabulous lives.
And that love will light the way.
Breathe and calm, let the world come alive. Peace begins when love arrives.
Close your eyes, release the fear. Every doubt will disappear. In the silence, hear the song. Love within has been here all along. Healing through connections, our light will always stay. A love that lifts and strengthens. Love will light the
Release the shadows,
lift the veil.
let the voice of love prevail.
Every moment fresh and new.
We are connected,
Me and you, healing through connections. Our light will always stay. A love that lifts and strengthens. Love will light the way.
in the quiet of the heart.
We are one, we're not apart.
Let love carry, let love guide. Here together, side by side. Healing through connections.
We're stronger when we share.
A love beyond perfection
That heals us everywhere. There is healing through connections for you, for me. Love will light our way.
healing through connections.
Love will light the way.
Healing through connection.
Love will light the way.
Like that, we're back. If you just are tuning in to the Make Mental Health Matter show, thank you so much for watching or listening. My guest Tamara and I are really having conversations about Mental Health Awareness Month, but also how it is to be a cancer survivor and also having family that are affected by mental health challenges. And before, so that break, that last video is for the Fab Five and really talking about mental health and how important connection is. But I would love, so we have another one at our next break too, but I'd love to talk about the music aspect because when I came on the show, so yes, I came on during the New Year's Eve, but then I also came on, I don't know, it was a few months ago, but the one thing that I noticed the most was the passion and the music and all the little breaks and the sponsored type spots and the green hearts and all different things. So can you share a little bit about like what is all the music and why does it mean so much to you?
It's a great question. And it's a loaded question, truthfully. The music one thing is really, let's just be real. We are living in a day and age where we have to figure out and navigate, and having a show, and the Fab Five are part of the Let's Talk Fabulous show, and because this is my third show within the network, and our network, one of the heads, he had challenged me a while ago to have one of my shows had multiple hosts. And so I didn't do it on the other shows, but I did it on this one. And then they started working with us, and Julianne's like, okay, yeah, you guys really should be in pop culture and entertainment. Like, okay, we'll do that. And then it was, we had a couple of original songs. You need to have original songs because they can tell, AI can tell is it original or not, and they'll tag you, they'll mute you and all, and it's like, okay, we need it to be entertaining, we need it to all these things. Well, at first it was more of just logic. It was, this makes sense. Then I started doing it, and I realized that it was like a full circle in my own life, because we come to it as we are, who we are, and it's an opportunity now. For example, with this one, Healing Through Connection, is what it was originally titled, because, and that goes along with, even if you go to my website, it says Healing Through Connection. That is everything that is my message going out there. Yet it was retitled Love Will Love Will Lead the Way, or yeah, Love Will Find the Way. And because it took its own life, and that's where that passion and purpose comes through, because I think about, because I do write the majority of these, and I think about who is it that needs to see this, who is it that is our audience for that particular show. We are a service-oriented show. We are out there to make a difference in people's health. All right, so but they need to show up and be entertained. They need to know to show up. So that's why we have a lot of people that have, okay, do this, do that. So yes, there's a lot of moving pieces to this, and we're live. Why do we do that? Because it's harder. Of course. And like, they'll show up because, okay, are they going to make a mistake, whatever it may be. And I'm like, if they show up, then we can make a difference in their lives. And it really comes back to a calling. And then in this one, there were some things going on in my life, and you're aware of them because I actually reached out to you. There were things going on in my own personal life during the time that I wrote this. And it came through in it too. So we have opportunities to make a difference, make it entertaining. And the Fab Five are people that have, a lot of experience, or they've wanted to. They had maybe stage experience and they had never been in a digital studio before, or they had their own network. I've got a little of all in there. But the thing about it is they all have a heart to serve. And so each one of each one of the episodes, like when you came on, what we do is we pinpoint what is it that the focus is. And that particular host will decide to do that. And then we look at, okay, what do we need to have assets that people will want to stay around and they feel that they've been served, like what you do here. And we do it where we're moving and we're making it interesting, and so that people will want to, I'll miss something if I leave. Well, it might be that they'll miss the miracle that's going to touch their lives to move forward in that ripple effect, because that's really where the passion comes from. Because we think about the person that is watching, all of you out there right now. The shows that we create are for you. They're not for us, they're for you. But they have us wrapped into them for you. So think of it like a present that you're getting. And in fact, when you played that song, I had heard it all the way through for a little bit. I mean, and with some stuff that's going on here, I wrote it, and we can, we produced that little spot beforehand and everything. I'm over here bawling as I'm playing, like getting the tissue, getting ready to come back on air, because that's our hope, is that it will touch people's heart. And if we can touch someone's heart, then we can help them to move forward. And maybe they'll want to touch another heart. Or maybe they're going to finally feel as though they've been seen. Or whatever it may be that's going to fill them up. And that's what drives me every single time I think about each one of the shows. Is I think about, okay, who is it that needs to see this? And how can we fill them up so that they'll want to go out there and make a difference in that focus?
I love that. And I mean, I genuinely am honored that you're allowing me to play them.
Oh,
And I think that, I mean, that's just from the moment that I met you, right? And when we went to Hostopia, first time I met you in person, right? I felt this connection because it is, I mean, it's so genuine from the heart. And I know that, like you were talking about, is that we all have these human experiences that we go through, and music can be such a big part of that. And I know for me, music has always been a huge part of my life. My mom was a music teacher. I used to love to dance. So I got the chance to watch multiple of the videos, and pick which ones I want. And so dancing has always been a huge part of my life too. And I think that what I love is that some of the songs like really touch the heartstrings, and then there's other ones that energize you, right? Because I think there's also this is what I love to talk about too on Mental Health Awareness Month, is that we don't always, like, with our mental health, have to be in that negative space, right? Like,
right.
sometimes we can shift into these positive spaces, and how can we take care of ourselves, and how can we do the good things like dancing, or dance parties, right? Like, I'm like, do a dance party. So yeah, I mean, just being able to have the emotions, but then you can also shift into this positive aspect. So yeah, I just think it's amazing what you are creating, not only with the show, but also in the videos and the music that you're adding in there too.
Well, thank you. And it's part of the mission, is the way I see it. And that's why, taking them out with me and sharing them in different ways, because they are part of the mission, and we need to be out there making a difference in people's lives. And when you were talking about that just now, I'm thinking, okay, I support a lot of people when it comes to, they've been diagnosed, and I'll never forget this one particular. I was on the phone. I'm in the car, and I actually had to stop, pull over and stop, because the person was like, okay, I have a question for you. You said to laugh. Now, I've just been diagnosed. How I'm not supposed to laugh. I'm like, no, you're supposed to laugh. You need to laugh. And, and it's like, so that's why it's just really, like, we have these little go on the website, just download it. It's free. It's a celebration journal. And I started it with humor, hope, and heart. Those were the first 3 words within the nonprofit. And then it went to hugs and a whole lot of love. And so people know that I'm going to say it: humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love. And yes, laugh, because what that does. And I mean, we've had in our group, we've done laughter yoga, and you show up and you're in a grumpy mood, and then you got to do the laughing thing, and then by the time you're done, you're like, I feel so much better, and you feel like you've had a workout. You've been sitting there, you've been laughing. Our bodies are amazing, and so if we can, and the songs, yes. And so what we do in our show, 56 minutes, it's a panel show. You know the drill. We have them send in a video, so there's a lot of video there, and we really do try to have 2 music numbers, and one may really catch you in your heart, but then one is going to empower you. Like, okay, now get up and do something, even if it's make your bed and go back to bed, whatever it may be. And we want to have that kind of energy, because it's really, if we can do this and then encourage others to do it too. Just think what our world, I mean, we can flip it upside down, like Barbara Buckley always says, flip it upside down. And she's one of the Fab 5 guys. Flip it, and we can flip it. What a world that so many will want to show up. And so, that video, there are so many people that are feeling that insecurity. Let's just be real. They are. And so I'm a big movie holic also. And so I think of Scrooged, the movie Scrooged. Anybody like that movie? I love that movie. Or What About Bob? Both, that's a good one too. Baby steps. But in Scrooged, where's your miracle? Someone needs the miracle. Can you be their miracle? We need to pull together that healing through connections. If I can encourage anything from you guys right now, is think about who needs the miracle of just you saying hi, I care, bringing a sandwich to someone, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be huge. A smile, open the door. I mean, really, let's get back to humanity, guys. Let's put our phones down for a moment. Put them in our airplane mode, whatever it may be, and connect with someone, because that might be their only connection for the day, and that might be the thing that's going to get them to tomorrow. And we need to remember that. We can be someone's hero and miracle, and more importantly, we can be our own. It starts here, right?
Yeah, I'm like, breathe. And now I'm going to take a breath. So a couple things. You just reminded me that I actually had a guest at one point in time that we did that laugh yoga. So it is awesome. It's so fun. And I was like, I don't know if I want to try this. And then I did, and it was great. So yes, definitely. A lot of what I also talk about is that smiling, right? The simple upward motion of your mouth can change everything. It actually releases what I call your brain's happy juices. And so naturally, it is always with us. That's my joke, is that your face is always attached to you. But then you can smile, even fake it till you make it. But smiling, laughing. And the one thing that popped into my head, and the question that that came up was, if you think about, so your diagnosis with cancer, you had this form that not a lot of people survived. I have always thought of those moments of the people that have stayed in that positive mindset through healing and recovery, because we know that our brain is so powerful. And when you start to just give up and you're like, I'm going to die anyways, then you probably do. And those people that really shift into that positivity of like, I'm going to fight this, like I'm going to do everything that I can, then they tend to be the ones that do survive. So I think there's science behind it, but also that power of research, like you talked about earlier. And I think that sometimes even in nonprofit spaces or research spaces, we're like, well, what are they using all this money for? Like, I see all these people dying, but we don't hear enough about those that are living because of the research they're doing. So I love that you brought that up. And the question, I guess, is, what is your thought as far as that, like, positive mindset versus the I'm just going to die mindset? And when doctors, and this is another thing just for me, but when doctors tell you how long you have to live, like, that drives me crazy, just because I'm like, don't tell them that, because then most people die within that time frame, because you already set it up for failure, I feel like. So
absolutely, all of the above, 100%. And I was really, I actually researched the group that I ended up going with, because that's the kind of person I am. And it wasn't an accident that I ended up there. It was on purpose. It was very designed to be. I knew I would live from the very beginning. I knew it. There was no doubt in my mind. I didn't even cry. I just, like, okay, this is a duck. I'm going to get through it. And so what happened then was quite eye-opening, because when you go into a clinical situation like we were in, you do see the others that are there. And I got to know my nurses and doctors very well. Very, very, very well. And they were the ones to really say that, and they're aware of the fact that that kind of verbiage, putting a time on it, is not necessarily the best idea, because you're kind of pre-programming the machine, and so we need to be careful of that. What they encouraged me to go out there and share fully was that you need to believe. You need to really believe. And if you are not believing, that's where sometimes even having community, a buddy, someone that can be there and believing until you finally, like you said, fake it till you make it, with the smile, with the laughter, whatever it may be, whatever you need to do, be authentic with it. Don't feel guilty that you're not feeling it, because that's only going to work against you too. It's find that community that's going to help. And what I noticed, and I really had an opportunity, you had mentioned it earlier with COVID, is that we were already established. We had our group, because of we were doing it online, and our nonprofit we're really not a nonprofit to make money. It's really a cause-driven nonprofit to make a difference. And we were using a lot of the free assets out there. You can make a difference for free. You really can. And you need the money in some cases, but in what we were doing it this way. And COVID hits. And some of our stage 4s, because all medical shut down there for a while. Boom. Appointments shut. Surgeries canceled. I mean, stage 4s, like, okay, well, I guess, my life is written off. I'm like, not on my watch, it's not. So we engaged, and our leadership, I have to just, to this day, I'm so grateful that we, either on the public side or the private side, we made sure we compared notes every single day, at least 3 to 4 times a day. We had something going on live that people could tap into. And we brought in a lot of people that could teach everything from frequency healing, like Reiki, or different things that you could, some practical things, the laughter yoga. I mean, we had a little bit of everything going on. Afterwards, when everything opened up again, this was really interesting to me. Of course, I can't claim it because I didn't document it right, but we witnessed it, we saw it, we lived it. And that was some of our stage 4s, when they went back to test, because they all had to. You had, it had been so long, you need to retest everything, see where you're at so they can modify things. Either had reduced levels, and one stage 4 had no evidence of cancer. Medical shutdown. How is that possible? It's possible, and that's the thing. We witnessed it. Did we know that would be the results? No, we didn't. We showed up every day, knowing that we could make a difference in that day. And that is really where, when you talk about mental wellness and health, when you talk about health and wellness in any category in life, guys, show up. And our attitudes really can. My doctor and nurses, that's what they were really touting, is that we need to go out there, because, and this is what got me off my to do something, was that when we graduated, my original buddy and I graduated from the chemotherapy room, instead of ringing a bell, we brought coconut bras and put them on the chemo poles, and we did all that neat fun stuff, and big pink wigs, because we were bald, and lays, and we had a luau. And we told the nurses, and we were slow drips, and so that meant you were there all day. And we told the nurses, pack it up. And so they invited them to the luau, and we had people coming for chemotherapy in Hawaiian clothing, right, for the luau. 6 months later, they're like, when are you going to do something? And I'm like, what? What do you mean? I know you want me to do what? And they're like, let me tell you. The only time they ever saw one of the people, because of HIPAA, we couldn't know their stories. One of the people in that room on the Hawaiian luau day, the only time they ever saw that person smile was that day. That person had just passed away. They weren't the sickest room in the room, or sickest one in the room. They were the saddest one in the room. And that's what got me off my you-know-what. And, okay, go out there. And so now with the show and with the music and with the outreach coming here and everything, we really, that whole Healing Through Connection, guys, that song we just played, just know this. You show up and reach out to someone else, it may make a world of difference, and they may live another day because of it. It's huge.
And on that note, we're going to go to our last sponsor break so we don't miss out on the last music. So we'll be right back after this quick sponsor break.
Have you ever felt completely alone?
Like your life doesn't matter.
One person dies due to suicide every 40 seconds.
You are not alone. Call the National Suicide Lifeline at 988.
Hope and recovery is possible.
1 in 8 people globally live with a mental disorder.
That's why empowering minds saves lives.
We need your help.
With only $19 a month, you help us save lives through mental health and suicide prevention education.
Scan the QR code or go to makementalhealthmatter.org to sign up as a warrior for mental health today.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's go. Woke up with a smile I didn't fake. Took a breath and gave myself a break. Don't need the world to say I'm right.
I've got my spark, I've got my light.
Mirror's not a judge, it's just a friend. I'm learning how to love myself again.
No chasing perfect, that's a game. I'm showing up, not hiding shame.
Every scar, every line, just a part of my design. Not holding back, not dimming down. This is me, I wear my crown. Shine
From inside, let your colors fly. You don't need a reason why.
to laugh, to dance, to dream out loud. You're enough right here and now.
So take that step, don't second guess. The world needs your fabulousness.
You're the light, you're the vibe. Just shine from inside.
Some days are slow, some feel fast, but joy is found in things that last, like being kind or letting go of all the things I used to hold.
We've all got chapters, some we hide, but even pain can turn to pride.
I'm not a version made to please, I'm dancing to my melody.
It's never late to start again. Every story finds its pen. I'm not small, I'm not too much. I'm just right, and that's enough. Shine
From inside, let your colors fly. You don't need a reason why.
to laugh, to dance, to dream out loud. You're enough right here and now.
So take that step, don't second guess. The world needs your fabulousness. You're the light, you're the vibe.
Just shine from inside. Let go of doubt, let love in. This is the moment you begin.
The magic's real, and so are you. Be your best, it shines right through.
Shine from inside, don't hide your flame. This world will never be the same.
When you show up just as you are,
You're already a shining star. So take that step, don't second the vibe. Just shine from inside. Just shine from inside. Yeah. Shine from inside.
And like that, we're back again. Yay! I'm like, I think this might have to be a normal thing. I'm gonna have to create some music, or maybe I'll have you make me some. I love it. It's so awesome. And so those of you that watch, obviously you see the graphics, but those that listen on Dream Vision 7 radio, you're gonna have to go watch, whether it is on E360 TV, YouTube, or on the Facebook channel, because the images when they go with the music, it's so much better. So we are coming really close to the end. The show goes by so fast, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to share anything that maybe we didn't get a chance to talk about, or any final thoughts that you have.
You know, I'd like to just wrap it up even with that song. Shine From Inside was a collective of, it came through as kind of a song for the buddies to also be with the Fab Five, because again, we're all one. And it really encapsulates everything right there, that we can shine from inside. And a lot of you saw, a lot of them were us. We were having fun. We're dancing, we're this and that, because I brought it to the group and I'm like, who wants to be involved? And some of the buddies were involved and such. And that's what really, let's show up every day for each other. That is what I want to bring, is that really the healing through connections. It can be as simple as reaching out to someone, and especially those that health and wellness, we need to really put it in the forefront of our brains. I know I do every single day. I can attest to it because, you know, it's a gift that I've been given in my life because I support those that it's an issue. So it is in the front of my mind and in my heart every single day. And we can win. It's not a win or lose, but we can really make a difference out there. So please support what Kelli's doing here, because we need this message out there. We need advocates out there. We need you out there to understand you are important. You are loved. And we want you to then have that ripple effect, because you got through it. Now you can be there for someone else. Find that buddy. Find that buddy. Some days you may be up, some days you may be down. But it's so much better to have a life together, dance and have some fun, and shine from inside.
Yes, I love that so much. And I call my buddies my accountability buddies. That's my word.
So important.
Yes, I am so thankful that you came on today. This was such an amazing conversation, and definitely make sure you go check out Let's Be Fabulous. Did I say that right?
Let's Talk Fabulous show. We are live. Yeah, we're live on Sundays, guys. Plug on e360tv.com or through the app. Go to the live area, and at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern, every Sunday. And it's a different Fab Five every Sunday, and we are there for all of you. And yes, we have music every single week. Come and join us. It's fun. And comment and say that you saw me here on, Make Mental Health Matter. Please,
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I totally would have probably said the wrong day and time and all the things. So thank you so much for being such an amazing guest. I appreciate you sharing your journey and just sharing your wisdom and knowledge in Mental Health Awareness Month. So thank you so much again.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come on this month. I appreciate it so very much. And thank you again for everything you and your team are doing to bring this to the forefront in everybody's lives.
All right, y'all, that was another amazing episode of the Make Mental Health Matter show. I love when I have guests that the alignment, right? You can totally see where the alignment comes from, and definitely make sure you go check out the show on E360 TV. Again, those of you that are listening, make sure you go watch, because I promise you the videos going with the music are awesome. And if you liked this, leave a comment. Maybe it'll have to be like a new thing, because I like the music. I know we're on radio and TV, so why not throw some music in there? Radio, we usually listen to music. Yep. No matter what you do, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so keep in mind, what can you do for your own mental health? How can you help other people that might be struggling? Or maybe what is that connection or conversation that you can create or find a way to connect with somebody that might just need to be seen, heard, or understood? No matter what it is, make sure you come back next week, because we have another great show lined up. Again, I go live every single Monday at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. on Dream Vision 7 Radio, or you can watch on E360 TV at 5 p.m. Mountain Denver time. I'll catch you next week. Bye, y'all.
Thank you for joining today for the Make Mental Health Matter show. We hope you found today's episode insightful and empowering. Remember, your mental health journey doesn't end here. For more resources, support, and information, visit us online at makementalhealthmatter.org. You won't forget to subscribe to our show or follow us on social media to stay connected and continue the conversation, will you? That's right. Together, let's make mental health matter.